Verbal comprehension, or otherwise known as listening, as a literacy challenge. ADHD and verbal comprehension. Students with ADHD are more likely to have problems with expressive language. Students with ADHD demonstrate more difficulty with processing basic referential statements. The ability to listen to directions, conversations, etc. means having the ability to stay focused, mentally organize the information being given, and oftentimes provide a verbal response. For students with ADHD, all of these skills come with more difficulty. Strategies and interventions for differentiated learning that are already in place in the class. We have preferential seating for all students, not just this individual. Chunking of long-term assignments is also provided, but is individualized. And graphic organizers are provided both for reading support as well as writing support. Tier 1 interventions that can be done for this student. He could definitely benefit from frequent breaks, copies of teacher notes before the activity or the lesson so that he can write on them, having him repeat directions back, and frequent check-ins with me. So cognitive processes directly relate to a student's academic success. Therefore, for long-term assignments, chunking them into more manageable pieces is something that the student would absolutely benefit from. The differentiation that can be provided for chunking are modified due dates per student. So if some students need more periodic due dates, those can be provided. Different levels of chunking, so what needs to be done at each check-in. And modified requirements. So maybe a student that might require 3 quotes, there might be another that requires 2, whatever can help them complete the entire assignment. Since students with ADHD often have delays in reading comprehension and language processing abilities, extra supports are needed in both listening, speaking, and written expression. Therefore, graphic organizers to support assignments are key, both when it comes to having to read on their own, as well as listen, as well as to prepare for written assignments. For differentiation, partially filled in portions for specific students. So having some of the graphic organizer already completed, like sentence starters, to give them a chance. And then modified organizers with the most relevant portions included. So sometimes some students may only need the very specific pieces of the assignment and not some of the extras. A student's output, both verbally and written, requires the ability to comprehend and organize directions. Therefore, having this student and others repeat directions back to the teacher is key. In terms of differentiation, asking the whole class to repeat back together is one way to do it so that nobody is singled out, or asking different students to repeat back different portions of the directions, especially if there's many steps, or walking around to individual students like this one for individual check-ins to make sure they truly understand what was just told to them. To assess the student's progress, frequent verbal check-ins will be key, and this will be every day and all the time, and during class and outside of class. Exit tickets as a written response to understand truly what the student was able to not only comprehend, but able to then put pen to paper. And then individual writing conferences throughout the writing process. So especially since this is where this student struggles to go from verbal to writing, that will be key to making sure that they're staying on task. So in conclusion, for students with ADHD, especially at the high school level, they are constantly being bombarded with information and stimuli, especially when it comes to verbal information. Their ability to process it and subsequently do something with it, like start an assignment or complete a task. This can be difficult without appropriate supports. For a student with verbal comprehension struggles, it is most important to continue to check in with them frequently and in a variety of ways to ensure they not only understand what is being asked of them, but are able to effectively communicate their knowledge.